This is The Guide Gals, a modern, wedding-focused podcast by the experts at Here Comes the Guide. I'm Chelsea, a designer and inspired creative who's probably racked up over 10,000 hours on Pinterest, and the friend who's going to shoot it to you straight.
And I'm Caroline, a social media manager who's obsessed with dogs as ring bearers and will inevitably cry over your wedding video. We've seen it from all sides. We've been brides, planners, bridesmaids, and have worked with standout brands throughout the industry.
Think of us as an extension of your wedding party and hang out with us as we share the ins, outs, ups, and downs of the road to I Do.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Guide Gals podcast. Today we are doing all things beauty. Everything that you need for your wedding day, which is a weird thing to think about, and sometimes you don't think about it at all for a while because you're thinking about other logistics that are just as fun and exciting, but we want to break down all of the beauty things that you'll need for your day.
Yes, and of course we think, and you should too, that you're beautiful just the way that you are, but on such an important day, of course you want to look and feel your best. So we're going to break down the exact timeline of when we would recommend doing certain beauty things in order to make yourself feel really great. So yeah, we're going to break it down for you.
Yeah, we have this whole timeline, but before we break it down, obviously we're going to talk about beverages of the day. Chelsea, what are you drinking?
I have what was once a really good iced latte that I made, but now I just have a melted drop left in here. But it was really good. I was just too eager.
Yeah. I believe it. No, I'm sure it was really great. Mine I just made huge. It's a big old cold brew with oat milk in it. But I'm realizing right now I didn't put any sweeteners in it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm a girl who loves a good sweetener. I love something fun in it. But I am having quite a large one. I did not sleep well last night, but I'm pulling the energy back for the podcast.
Love it. I love how you drink out of, you always have a cute cup, of some kind. And I like the mason jar.
This is,
I have that one.
Yes. And I honestly, as I got it out of the cabinet today, I was like, I'm under consumption core. Is that what it's called? I know there's overconsumption, but I was like, we reuse these mason jars. So yeah, this is my iced one. Is it super practical? No, because I feel like it sweats. My hands are wet from this now. But it's cute, and it comes with a lid for a straw, so it really is perfect for that. Okay, our timeline is going to start at the 5 to 6 months kind of time frame, and a lot of our other timelines start a year out. But really, I think with this, naturally, you're going to think about those other details and then kind of think about this. Now, this is something you might think about more than 5 to 6 months out. You might think about this part of it right after you get engaged, because I think there is a culture around trying to get a wedding body. Every body is a wedding body. I want you to know that first and foremost. But there is kind of a culture around losing weight or toning up for your wedding. Now, we don't think that's a bad thing if that's what you want and that's what you're striving for, but I do think sometimes there is this mentality of I'm going to be this specific weight. I'm going to order my dress in this specific size, and I'm going to get there no matter what. We are huge proponents of taking care of your body and just being healthy. So every body is a wedding body, and I just wanted to kind of say that at the top of this because this is something that we see play out in a healthy way, and we've also seen it play out in an unhealthy way. That's our big caveat before we jump into this. So if you are thinking about, okay, I do want to look and feel my best, a lot of the times when I feel and look my best, I think, is when I'm staying active. So finding a type of exercise before the wedding can be a great in two kind of ways. One, getting your body moving, getting those endorphins flowing, loving the serotonin there. But also, I think it's a great way to relieve stress around wedding planning. So it kind of serves two purposes. So you could sign up for a yoga class. You could start going on walks with your bridal party at any point. You could hire a personal trainer, or you could do none of those things, and that's totally fine. No one is expecting you to train for a marathon. Nobody's expecting you to come out on your wedding day looking like a bodybuilder. But if you find something very simple to add to your routine, I think it could have a lot of benefits. You could also take a look at your eating habits. Again, this can kind of serve multiple purposes. A lot of times what you put in your body to fuel your body ends up being a clear output, meaning if you are eating healthy, getting all your fruits and veggies in, a lot of times your skin looks better. You have less brain fog. There are a lot of different things that are not associated with your weight or the scale, that can also be huge benefits. So if you want to start incorporating some of those things in well before the wedding, to give your skin that glowy look, to make sure that your brain is functioning well, whatever else it is, this is a great time to start thinking about it. Obviously, you should not deprive yourself of wine and chocolate, things like that, because those are also super important to the wedding planning process. I also do think this is a great time to incorporate meditation. I used to think meditation was like stupid. I don't know why. Like I was like, oh, this is like lame and boring, mostly because I have a hard time sitting in silence by myself. But I've recently started to do a lot more meditation. I have a couple of different apps that I pay for now to do meditation with, and the quality of life for me, I think, has significantly improved. Mostly, I think, in the way that I handle stress, the way that I handle what life throws at me day to day, I can now kind of take on in a better headspace. So I think any of these things, exercise, what you eat, meditation, are great things to incorporate before your wedding for multiple reasons, not just because of the scale, but because of all of the other wonderful benefits as well.
Yeah, and I think just like you said, Caroline, like you end up feeling better when you're being active and making healthy choices. If you're going into this with the mindset that you want to change something physically about yourself, maybe trying to shift that to I want to feel really confident and really healthy, and just try your best to make healthy choices all around. I think that that's like the best mindset to go into it. Now, this is like not a health and wellness podcast, so please keep that in mind as we speak on these things. But just like you said too, Caroline, I feel the most confident when I am being active, because when I'm doing things that are like physical, like working out in any way, it just makes me feel proud of myself. So I end up just feeling more confident in the way that I look, and, you know, more eager to make healthy eating choices and all of that stuff. So it really does have a snowball effect. So even just like the positive thinking on that, like shifting the mindset to, you know, a more healthy space can lead to healthier choices across the board, which will, I think, make you more beautiful. So,
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to find ourselves at 3 to 4 months out from your wedding, and now is the time to start kind of thinking about your look a little bit more. So less about your overall look and maybe about what style choices you're going to be making on that day, and it's time to start experimenting. So it's never a good idea. Now, we're at 3 to 4 months away from your wedding. So you have plenty of time. This is the time where if you are like, maybe I want to experiment with some highlights in my hair or an entirely different hair color, like beware, okay? Like a drastic change on your wedding day, like you might be looking back on photos like, oh my gosh, that doesn't even look like me. But if this is something that you've wanted to try for this or whatever, now is the time to do it. So, make a consultation with hairstylists. If you want to try a new cut, a new color, something along those lines, make a consultation with them. Start experimenting. Like I said, try things out. That way, if you don't like the result of something, you have plenty of time to change it back or change it into something else. Really figure out what makes you feel the best and the most confident. And make sure as you're like booking consultations with people, this goes for all of your vendors. We've said this a lot. You want to like them. If you're going to have someone do your bridal hair and makeup on your wedding day, or I know some people even do it for other wedding occasions like their shower or their rehearsal dinner, all of that stuff. So if you're hiring someone for those things, you want to make sure that you like them and that they understand what you're going for. I mean, at the very, very least, you're going to want to have trial appointments for these things to make sure that you like the person and that you're going to be getting the result that you want. So yes, you want to make sure that you like them. Yeah. They're going to be a part of your day. They're going to be one of like the first people that you kind of hang out with, spend time with on your day. Yeah. So that's very important. And little things too, even like, okay, like if you want to have a tan on your wedding day and you're like thinking you're going to do a spray tan, try this out before. Find a place that you really like and make sure that you like the way it looks on you. That's very important. Even like nails, like I know that like these are all little details, but if you're listening to this podcast, you probably really care about all the little details that come along with planning. So try out different nail styles. If you're going to be trying something new on your wedding day, go find a nail tech that you like and figure out what you want. So you start experimenting with these things, and then you have probably a lot of fun doing it too. Like that sounds like pretty exciting, getting to try out these new things leading up to your wedding day. 3 to 4 months out, you're looking great with all of your new little beauty treatments that you're trying. But yeah, you still have plenty of time to not feel like it's like a make or break situation. Figure out what you like. Figure out who you like.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I've seen this TikToker. I think it's Kelsey Coates. I don't actually know how to say her last name. She has this like short hair bob that I've been loving. Not for me. I have too round of a face for it. Not for me, but I love it on her. There's also Caroline Bankston. They both have these iconic bobs for me. But Kelsey's getting married and has been like sharing this journey of trying all of these different hairstyles with her short hair, and kind of coming to the conclusion of, I actually just like my bob the way I style it, and that's probably what she'll end up doing for her wedding. I think she decided on like maybe pulling like some of the pieces back, but I loved that because she was like, everything that I thought I'd like, I didn't. I'm so glad I tried it because I want something that feels like me. Yeah. And I think that was one thing that Chelsea said that is like so true. Like, you don't want to look back and be like, oh, who is that? Yeah. I know there are a lot of people who love changing their hair color all the time. So maybe that's not like a weird thing for you to do. But I do love seeing where it's like, no, this is true to you, your personality, your style. But yeah, if you do want to try something, good to do it now, because it's better to figure out now that you don't like it than like the day of your wedding.
Right. And also a wedding day, it can feel like there's like this pressure to do something drastic or like do something like really dramatic. Like, I don't know, like, oh, I have to try something new with my hair. I have to do this or that. You might feel the most confident, just like, I forgot the name of the creator that you mentioned,
Kelsey.
But Kelsey.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like she feels the most confident in like the way that her hair is probably like on a daily basis. So like she probably feels like the most like herself, which probably makes her feel confident. Like, I don't know. I know that I've tried like different things, or like even like a spray tan that's like really fresh and like maybe a little too dark. Like, I feel like a clown, you know? And like, so like it makes me lack confidence. Like, something that should have brought on more confidence, like in theory, like really just kind of made me feel self-conscious. So yeah, experiment with these things, but then also remember that you can experiment as much as you want, but if something takes away confidence or it makes you feel like a clown, you don't have to do that for your wedding day or any day ever.
Okay, we're at the 1 to 2 months to go kind of time frame, and you're getting closer, of course. We've already gone through a lot of things, and I'm sure you might want to be making a checklist out of this. So go to Here Comes the Guide to see this full list that we are referencing here as well. And we also have them in our show notes if you want to go see those. But 1 to 2 months to go. You're going to finalize your wedding day hair and makeup. You're also going to do a lot of those final fittings for your dress, for your veil, for any other attire that you have going on. And I just want to remind you that these are good times to speak up for yourself. So if you don't like the way something's looking on you, whether that's your makeup, your hair, your dress, your veil, whatever it is, really finalizing those details now, figuring out exactly what you like and advocating for yourself in that. I know that can be hard sometimes because all of these vendors have so much experience and know exactly what they're doing, but they may do something a little bit different from how you want it to be done. So just a reminder to advocate for yourself in all of these beauty things. Also, if you've decided to DIY anything, or if anyone in your wedding party has decided to DIY anything, it's a really great idea to go to Sephora, go to Ulta, wherever else, grab those beauty supplies and start practicing. I think a lot of times I've seen bridesmaids practice a lot when they are bridesmaids, and then get to the point of their wedding where they're like, we've done this enough times, like I want to do my own wedding makeup. To each their own, however you want to do that. But it's a really good idea, again, to practice, because you might think your everyday makeup is going to be great for the wedding, but then a lot of ways you have to do things a little bit differently. Or you need slightly different products that look good when there's flash photography, products that will hold up if there is a rainy wedding day. So just making sure you have all the things necessary in your back pocket. Oh, and especially if you want to use fake eyelashes, you have to practice those. That was
Yeah.
something that was so funny to see. I've been a part of many wedding parties where I've had to slap lashes on people, which doesn't bother me. I love doing it. In fact, it's so much easier to do it on someone else. But I had to do it to the bride once because she was doing her own makeup but couldn't get her own eyelashes on. And that was really nerve wracking for me. I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh, I hope these don't fall off. That was so scary. They were fine.
That eyelashes thing too, like if you have never worn fake eyelashes before and you want to wear them on your wedding day, that's awesome. Put them on before, or like if you're going to do eyelash extensions, like go get them done maybe like I don't know, where are we at? 1 to 2 months. Yeah, like maybe more like at that 3 month mark, like backtracking a little bit. Like go get a full set of them or whatever and like figure out the thickness that you like. Or like if you're not getting them professionally done, you're going to just put some on. Like go to the store and get a few different types, figure out what ones
Yes.
you like the look of, but also like it does feel different on if you've never worn them before. It's going to be something that you want to get used to. You know, if it irritates your eyes, I don't know. You need to figure it out
Yeah. Yes.
before the day.
And you want to make sure someone, either you or somebody else, can glue them on well because they're going to be going through so much throughout that day. So, especially if you have an outdoor wedding ceremony, the wind might be tugging on them, or if there's rain, you may need to reapply some glue. Also, eyelash glue is so great to have on hand. It's just like a complete side note. Great to have on hand. One time we fixed one of my best friend's veil with eyelash glue because it tore right before she walked down the aisle, and it was fine for the rest of the day. It was awesome. So, you need to test them out. There are lots of different types out there. I'm sure we could go on a longer tangent about this, but I'll stop us there. And the last thing I really want to mention in the 1 to 2 months time frame is to think about teeth whitening. You're going to be smiling a lot. I hope you are smiling a lot on your wedding day. And you're also going to get lots of pictures on your wedding day. So if you want to feel very confident in your smile, I think that's a great option to take. I've always felt not very confident in my smile. So I was doing teeth whitening. You do have to be careful about it if you have sensitive teeth. You figure out what's best for you in that process. If you want to get it professionally done, use whitening strips, whatever else is going on. But I think that's another thing to think about.
Okay, now we're in kind of the home stretch at 1 to 3 weeks before the wedding. So now is the time that you should probably have like your main beauty plan for your day, like for the most part, figured out. I hope that if you're doing things yourself, you've tried it already. Like we said, if you're hiring someone to help you, that's all squared away and you've had like trials and all of that stuff. So keep that in mind. So now is the time where you're like, you kind of know what's happening, but you're just going to keep chugging away at your beauty plan. So as far as your hair goes, if you're needing a trim at all, now is a great time to do it. We'd recommend like going in and just like getting something freshened up. If you are trying an entirely new hairstyle, remember you figured that out like a couple months ago. So that's all good. But you might want to get in there and just like maybe get like a conditioning treatment so things are like really nice and I don't know, fresh looking, trim it up so there's no like dead ends, whatever. Get things nice and clean. And then if you're needing to color your hair, touch up your color, probably 2 weeks before is when you'll want to do that. Remember, now's not the time to completely like dye your hair the opposite color of what it is right now. You already figured that out. Another thing that you might want to do is invest in some really nice products, maybe like moisturizers, perfumes. You might have already figured out your wedding day perfume, but if you haven't, figure that out now. Find a nice moisturizer that matches it, like a body cream kind of thing, and moisturize on the daily. We'd recommend that. For one, it'll make you feel great. And two, like it'll make sure that everything is like nice and soft and smooth like on your wedding day. And then I love getting facials. Now is a great time to get a facial. If you're not used to this, maybe don't try anything crazy. Like don't get it, like, no matter if you're used to it or not, don't get a chemical peel. You might have an adverse reaction. Like don't do anything crazy, but a nice like soothing facial is so great. Go in there, tell them you're like, I'm just wanting a nice relaxing, like freshen things up, brighten my skin kind of thing. It does feel, it's like similar to a massage. So it's really, really nice. A nice way to get yourself like nice and calm leading up to your wedding day. And on that topic, go ahead and get a massage too. If time and budget allows, that's a really great thing leading up to your wedding and anytime ever.
ever.
Yeah.
We love facials and massages. Big
Yeah.
fans. Okay, we're in the 3 days to go time frame now, and a lot of people I know usually take these days off. You should. If you haven't thought about that, take these days off. And they kind of naturally become this beauty time frame and spa day. There's like lots of different appointments or different things that you can do. Even what Chelsea said in the 1 to 3 week time frame, you can also squeeze some of those things in here, or touch-ups or things. So getting the mani-pedi needs to be, though, 3 days out, because you don't want to give your nails 3 days, I guess. You don't want to give your nails too much time to break, chip, whatever else. You want them to look really fresh. You'll also want to put today the emergency kit. So we've talked about something like this before. There's a lot of things that you can put together in an emergency kit for lots of different reasons. But for a beauty kit specifically, we've talked about things like eyelash glue, maybe grabbing a nail polish that is similar color to what you have in case something does chip, extra bobby pins, extra makeup like setting spray, mascara, eyelashes, whatever else that may be. Having extras on hand is really great. And any of those extra things that you can just throw together that are just in case this happens is great to have an emergency kit. Also, if you do decide to go for the spray tan route, this is around the time you'll want to do it. You do not want to do it the day before your wedding. You really want to give it a couple of days to fade into a very natural glow, but you'll also want to moisturize even more after you get a spray tan to really keep that even tan glow. So just be aware of that if you decide to go that route. This is also a great time to do a deep conditioning treatment to your hair. Taking those extra long everything showers in these couple of days leading up to it is great. And it also might be a good time, especially to think about what you're fueling your body with. If you are eating something that might make you break out, or maybe cutting out some extra alcohol, just things that might irritate your system and might leave you not feeling your best. So I think it's a good time to think about some of those things as well, even down to like, don't eat late night meals because that might affect your sleep. And if it's affecting your sleep, that could affect other things. So just wanted to make that note about that too.
Okay, and then you have made it to the actual wedding day, so woohoo. And if you're listening to this podcast, once again, you're a planner, so you probably have everything figured out, and by this time, you will have prepped enough beauty wise and otherwise, and you will feel great at this point. So one thing to think about the morning of, I would try to eat a healthy breakfast or eat something for sure right away, but don't do anything crazy that you're not used to. So maybe don't opt for like, I don't know, like a really sugary like French toast or something like that if you're not used to eating something that like indulgent early in the morning. A lot of people love to do mimosas right away. That's so fun, but think about if that's the best idea for like your stomach. I know for me, like champagne does not make me feel good. So although like that sounds like really exciting and fun, you know, maybe like think through those things, because if on a normal day champagne doesn't make you feel good, it's really not going to make you feel great on your wedding day either. So just things to think about. You do you though. You're going to want to allow plenty of time, of course, for the getting ready process. So don't procrastinate on this. Make sure that you, like I said, allow yourself plenty of time so that you have, you know, like the freedom to feel like you can live in the moment and really enjoy every moment, where you don't have to feel like you're rushing around. I know the worst feeling in life for me is feeling like I'm running late. Oh my gosh, like I turn into a monster. Like, and I'm running late a lot, by the way. So, it just like it makes me so stressed out. So plan ahead and make sure that you're allowing yourself plenty of time so that you don't get that anxious feeling and you don't feel like, I know when you're trying to do things quickly, it's never going the way that you want it to. So yeah, 2 to 3 hours before your ceremony is plenty of time probably for all of that, for getting ready, but really give yourself that time. And then we would recommend too, as you're getting ready before you put your dress on, wearing like a button-down shirt or those like super cute silk robes that people wear getting ready is going to be great. You don't want to have to pull anything over your head and like rip an eyelash off like in the process. So yes, those are things to think about. And then yeah, put on your special perfume that you picked out and really try your best to just be present in the moment. Yeah, take lots of deep breaths and remember that you listened to our podcast and you planned everything out and you were so prepared that you got to your wedding day and everything just feels great because you were ready.
Yes. There are a lot of things that go into the beauty timeline, and I'm sure there are things that we missed that you might want to do as well. Let us know if there is something that you're like, wait, please add this to your list. We will. But again, the most important thing is every body is a wedding body. No matter what you do, you are going to look perfect and amazing and beautiful for your wedding day. There are a lot of these things that you can leave off of your list and be totally fine. And again, there might be things you add that add a little extra flair. So be it. We really do think, though, that looking and feeling your best for your wedding day is super important so that you can feel confident and really look back on that day and feel like so good about how you showed up for your wedding day.
Yeah, returning to the theme from the beginning of the episode, whatever you do that makes you feel the healthiest, I think, and the most confident, and those two, like, a lot of times go hand in hand, is the best thing to do. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this was super fun. Caroline and I love talking about beauty things just to each other. Of course, we're just girls. So we really like talking about that stuff. So, and we love planning. So this was a great combination for us. But yeah, if you have anything else that you think should be added to our beauty timeline, please let us know if we're forgetting anything. Or if you have any questions about anything wedding planning related, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to us on our website, theguidegalspodcast.com. And on there, you can find our full episode library as well as a bunch of free planning resources. You can also find us on Instagram at The Guide Gals Podcast, on TikTok at The Guide Gals Pod, and we are on YouTube, on the Here Comes the Guide YouTube channel. All of our episodes have a video as well that goes along with them. So yeah, that's where you can find us.
Yeah. And we hope you do find us there. But that's all for now. So until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.